Dr. Susan Biali Haas was 2 years into an emergency medicine residency when she battled depression and severe burnout to the point that she was almost ready to give up on her chosen career.
Yeah, that's when a colleague suggested she take a stress leave and think about how she truly wanted to live her life. So Susan quit her residency, signed up for dance lessons, and embarked on an adventure in Mexico. She ended up opening her own dance company there, all while maintaining her license to practice medicine.
This is unbelievable. Now she's made it her mission to help people discover their own passion. Susan's here with some advice on finding fun in 21 by creating the life you've always wanted. Susan, do you still have like a pinch me moment here? Because a lot of people would have taken that little voice inside and shoved it further down and said, you know what, let's be practical. Let's keep our insurance. Let's keep our job. Do you still are you still kind of just in wonder over what you've done?
Oh, totally. I marvel at it still. I speak a lot to organizations about mental health, and I tell my story over and over, and it still brings me to tears because it came out of such a dark place. And I know that the whole world has been through such a difficult time. And I'm always telling people, it's not going to stay like this. It's so easy when things are really hard to just be able to see the hardship and not see all the hope that your future holds for you.
You know, we just shared the stories of three incredible women who were living their passions in some ways as a teacher, as an educator, but they found this creative voice inside of them and followed it. What's your advice to all of us that have these dreams that are yet to be fulfilled?
Well, I always say to start small. I feel like in working with people, I see it a lot in our culture as well, that there can be a lot of pressure, especially on moms who are already so busy, that it has to be something huge and world-changing. And maybe it'll become that, but I say just keep it really small. Make it about fun and joy and connecting with something that gives you life, and if possible, something that makes a difference in your community as well. But it doesn't have to. It can also just be about what it does for you.
Yeah, I think finding purpose is something that everybody sort of struggles with. You kind of, you may meet the guy next door. He's cute. You date him. You get married because he was there. You find a job. You're in it. You've been in it for 15 years. And you wonder, is this my purpose, or was this just all by happenstance? So how do you help people find the purpose?
Well, we have to start where we are. And so there's two parts to it, really. I always encourage people to see if you can find purpose in the job that you're in. And it doesn't necessarily even have to be in the tasks that you're doing. It can be the way that you treat customers, that you may be on a mission to make every single person's day better that you come into contact with. So there's ways that you can really make your work, however mundane it is, just light up by finding ways to make it purposeful. But also, most people are not going to make their living out of their passion. It's amazing if you can do that, but that's not most of our reality. And so it can be so helpful to just find something, anything that you can connect to or dive into in your life in whatever time you have available, so that you're feeding that part of you that is looking for purpose and joy and fulfillment.
So you have some little pieces of advice that can help any of us, starting with pay attention to who you were as a child.
Yeah, that's actually a big part of what started my adventure. The chief resident in the emergency department, when I went on my stress leave, she'd given me a piece of homework because I was actually very poorly suited to that work, and I was struggling so much. And she said, I want you to take time to think about what your true interests and abilities are and how you might actually like your life to be, because I was such a workaholic. And one of the things I did is I had the opportunity to see some people dancing. And I had this epiphany, this buried memory came forward where I had been obsessed with dancing as a little girl. And one of the very first things I did was sign up for dance lessons. And it changed my life. I didn't know that it was going to. And so with that childhood piece, I do that with people a lot. Think about, what did you love as a child? What were you obsessed with before the grown-ups got to you and told you what you should be when you grow up? And there's so much richness there, and play and fun, and to see how you can bring that in.
Susan, that's all.
Great advice.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much. Thanks, Susan.
Thank you, Susan.
We'll be back right after this.